Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie.the.cosmic.sailor and I help guide those on a journey of self-discovery. So today we are asking the question, what is my soul's passion, or what is my soul passionate about? So this reading was actually a request by Joe Keith 1722. They asked, what is my passion? So we're going to take it a step deeper and we're going to ask, what is your soul's passion? What is your soul passionate about? I'm super excited to get into this reading. Thank you again, Joe Keith 1722, for leaving that comment. And we're going to go ahead and get right in. We have 3 groups to choose from. The first group is this pile with the flower pendant. The second group is this deck with the piece of glass, the swirled piece of glass. And the third group is this stack of cards with the lady pendant. So whichever group you feel drawn to the most, that's most likely your reading. If you feel drawn to more than one group, that's totally okay. That just means you have more than one message here today. If you need time to meditate on the piles, feel free to pause the video. I will have the timestamps linked in the description box below. And I will see you in your pile. Bye! Hello! If you chose pile number 1 with the flower pendant, this is your reading. We are going to look and see, what is your soul passionate about? What are your soul's passions? So the first thing that I was feeling when connecting with your group's energy, because you did choose the flower, is this softness, this gentleness, and I feel like your soul is very passionate about the divine feminine. And I just heard a ding for confirmation. So I feel like your soul is very passionate about expressing the divine feminine. You don't have to be a female, you could be a male. Your energy is very soft in nature, is something that I'm feeling. We're going to go ahead and get in. So we have the tarot and the oracle cards, and we also have these numbers over here. So we have numbers 0 through 9, and I'm going to pull one and see what is your soul's passion. This could resonate with being your life path number. It doesn't have to, but this is just going to kind of give me a kind of a hint and an inkling at what your soul is passionate about. So we're going to go ahead and pick your number. And I just saw 111 on the clock timer. Wow, my phone is going off. Those dings are really popping. I feel like you could receive a lot of messages, a lot of synchronicities from spirit. I feel like you're very connected to your soul, and I feel like the divine feminine yin energy is very strong in your soul. It's almost like this, I'm just seeing like a void. And that's kind of what the divine feminine is. It's the absence of energy. That's why the divine feminine is very receptive and very like open energy, whereas the masculine is forceful and this is the way. The divine feminine is very open. And it also has to do with creativity as well. I feel like your soul could be very passionate about creativity. I feel a lot of messages coming through already. So I feel like you could receive a lot of messages. I also feel like your soul could be very passionate about expressing itself through art, is something that's coming through, maybe writing specifically. I'm seeing drawing, taking pictures, something creative is coming through. Let's see. What is pile number 1 soul passionate about? Okay, so let's see what number you have. Okay, so we have the number 8. Really interesting. 8 is, to me, about connecting, communicating with others. It's also the infinity symbol, and maybe you have an infinity symbol tattoo. That's something that's coming through. But the infinity, the idea of infinity, also to me feels very divine feminine, because it's infinite. There's no boundary to it. It's like the void. It's like having no border, having no like perimeter, whereas the divine masculine is very like it knows where its limits are. The divine feminine is very open. And also with the number 8 here, I feel like your soul could be very passionate about networking, connecting with other people, and also this message of abundance is coming through. So I feel like your soul is very passionate about receiving abundance and connecting with the idea that you have everything you need, something that's coming through. It's interesting too because I feel like this pile could be a creative type or an artistic type, and a lot of times, specifically because you got the number 8, I'm thinking about career. So your soul may be passionate about becoming an artist, becoming a writer is something that's also coming through. But when we think about the artist archetype, it can tend to have almost like a starving artist mentality. And, in today's society, in the world, more masculine careers are dominant and preferred, like math, science, the logical brain, and those are the types of careers that make a lot of money. So I feel like you're meant to almost, and it's interesting because I keep wanting to turn it sideways, which is like the infinity symbol. I feel like your soul is almost learning that abundance doesn't have to necessarily be a form of monetary or money, like wealth idea. I feel like you could have an abundance of ideas, an abundance of things to create, an abundance of ways to express your soul, and really connecting to this idea of abundance when it comes to the divine feminine. Really interesting. And I'm also seeing the strength card here, so you maybe could resonate with being a Leo, but I feel this softness, this very like graceful energy coming through with your pile. So we're going to go ahead and look at your cards. So we have Magical Gateway. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown, yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. Really interesting. So we have this idea of new beginnings, of stepping into a new, I'm just hearing a new future. I feel with this person holding the key, your spirit guides are saying you have all the answers. You already know everything you need to know. You just need to take action. We're going to go ahead and flip all of your cards really quick. So we have Fire Element Desire with the number 37 here, which reduces to the number 9. Oh, I'm just going to push these up a little bit. We have Vampire. Light Attribute makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Shadow Attribute, depleting others for your physical survival. Chronic complaining and codependency. Okay. What is your soul passionate about? We have the Fish with the Moon here, which when seeing this fish, I'm really seeing it's like the two fish like swirling around each other. Pisces energy could be very significant, or you may resonate with being a Pisces. We also have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius here. Leo specifically twice with the number 8. But also with the fish here, it's like I'm feeling that strong yin energy, the divine feminine energy. Let's see what tarot cards we have really quick. So we have the 3 of Swords. We have the 3 of Pentacles. And these crows are really sticking out to me. This isn't a crow deck. This is kind of like an animal watercolor deck. And it's interesting that you have the imagery of the crow twice, and you also have the 3 twice. And 3 again is divine feminine. It's the Empress energy. We have the Hanged One, which is more Pisces energy. A lot of synchronicities coming through for this pile. And something that I'm also feeling, I feel like your group, your soul's passion, has to do with learning, has to do with understanding things through experiencing other people, which is interesting. It's this idea of mirroring that's coming through. I feel like your soul is very passionate about mirroring, which is interesting. I feel like you guys are very, very smart. I'm also getting this like poet type energy. I feel like the way you speak could be very eloquent, very beautiful in nature is something that's coming through. Your voice specifically is something that's coming through really strong. So I feel like your soul could be passionate about talking to people, connecting with people, communicating with people. Public speaking is something that's also coming through. And we have the Six of Swords. Okay. I'm also picking up this, I feel Pisces energy very strongly, and your spirit guides are urging me to tell you that they're saying Pisces is one of the smartest signs, but not a lot of people think that that's true because the way we see smartness or like being intelligent as a collective, as a society, is not what Pisces energy is, but Pisces is very intelligent. It's the 12th. It's ruled by the 12th house, which is the last house of the zodiac wheel. So Pisces has gone through every single sign in the zodiac and knows and understands everything that has to do with everything. But Pisces energy can come off as very aloof or kind of daydreamy or head in the clouds or not really grounded, not really there. It's interesting. I feel like you guys, your soul could maybe be passionate about bringing spirit into the physical world. I feel like you guys could be tarot readers, channelers, mediums, psychics. And I feel like the things you create almost have this very like ethereal, daydreamy type energy. Your spirit guides are also saying, they're wanting you to define what success means to you, because I keep being drawn back to the collective and how the collective of humanity views things and sees things, whereas your view and the way you see things may be different, which is interesting. And so your spirit guides are really wanting you to follow your heart, follow what brings you happiness, what brings you joy, what makes you feel successful. And I also feel this very healing energy about your pile as well, specifically with the Six of Swords here and this person carrying this other person on their back. It's almost like your soul is passionate about uplifting humanity, and I just heard a ding. Your soul is passionate about almost like caring for those that are weak is something that's coming through. And I feel like you guys may have been in an energy where you were weak or you didn't have anybody to stand up for you is something that's coming through. But I feel like this has definitely shifted in your life, or it's going to shift, and you're going to be stepping into your power. And this is part of something that your soul is passionate about, reclaiming your power. And I just heard another ding. It's like relearning to reclaim your power. This could be part of your life's purpose, is something that I'm hearing as well. I feel like you may be put in situations where it's like almost like a test of faith. I just heard another ding. A test of faith, a test of whether or not you can stand in your power. Really interesting. It's like the universe could maybe send you people that may try to take your power, but when you stand in your power, it's like your light shines even brighter. Really interesting. And I feel like you are almost inspiring, and a leader of the underdogs is something that's coming through. And I feel like you help inspire those who are in this energy of being weak and maybe not be in their power. Really interesting. So I'm seeing, for example, somebody maybe being bullied, and somebody else coming in, and it's like the person that's being bullied may not know their authenticity, may not know their worth, know their truth, so they're just kind of taking whatever this person is saying. And it's like, I see you guys coming in and being like, hey, you can't talk to them like that. And it's almost kind of a surprise and a shock to people around you, but this is your soul coming through. So it's like, I feel this strong urge to protect people, to help those in need. And I feel like people around you may be kind of quite shocked if this happens, like, oh wow, like you're normally really quiet, you normally don't say anything. But with the fire element here, it's like you do have almost this fiery, passionate energy within your soul that comes out whenever somebody may be in a time of trouble or in a time of a challenge. I feel like you have this very like, almost like Superman type energy that's coming through. Really interesting. And I feel my voice, like I feel like my voice is very strong and very powerful, and I feel like yours is too. And that's something that's coming through, that your soul is very passionate about expressing yourself. And that's why I feel like you guys could be writers strongly, because you may not, especially if you've maybe struggled with bullying or people putting you down, it may have been harder for you to step into your power and reclaim your voice. And so I see somebody constantly journaling, constantly writing. I feel like this is very healing for your soul, is something that's coming through. I also feel like your soul could be very passionate about building a community or creating a community of like-minded souls, is something that's coming through. And you're giving this like empowered empath energy as well, where it's like your spirit guides are saying you are a narcissist's worst nightmare, because you know your power and you know your worth. And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of times empowered empaths do have to go through trials with narcissists where they kind of have to learn and understand their qualities. But once you do, it's like you are never going to go back. And I feel like you help people almost empower themselves as well. And I feel like this is something that your soul is very passionate about: empowerment, reclaiming your power. And I was mentioning like bullying and that type of thing, and I feel like your soul is very passionate about transcending this idea of the victim mentality into the victor. Really interesting. This pile is also giving me very fairy type energy, fairy vibes. Very whimsical, ethereal. I feel like you guys are very fun to be around. And I feel like you may not necessarily speak or say a lot of things, but people love to be around your energy, is something that's coming through, because it's very like lighthearted. And I feel like your soul is also very passionate about learning to go with the flow and let things go and let things pass over, not attaching your identity to too many things, and just learning to let go and go with the flow is something that's coming through, specifically with this fish here. I feel very strong like Piscean energy. You don't have to be, but that's something that's coming through very strongly. And with the crows here, your soul is very passionate about almost like enhancing your psychic abilities and learning more about the occult is something that's coming through. I feel strongly like you guys could be tarot readers or interested in divination. And understanding the unseen is something that's coming through. I feel like your soul is also very passionate about observing humans is something that's coming through. And it's weird that I'm saying this. I feel like you guys could resonate with being a starseed or having more lives in other realms as opposed to human incarnations. And I feel like you guys, your soul could also be on a path of enlightenment is something that's coming through, and learning how to free yourself. I feel like freedom is something that your soul is really passionate about as well. and not attaching your identity to too many things. And your soul is giving me like strong dreamer energy. And I'm also feeling it's like, I feel like when people are in your presence, they almost feel like they're dreaming, is something that's coming through. You have this very ethereal, ephemeral, elusive, almost like it's hard to understand you. It's like I'm trying to like grab something that's not there. Is really interesting. It's like once I touch it, it's like it's see-through. I can't touch it, which is really interesting. And I feel like your soul is, like I was mentioning about learning, teaching, I feel like your soul could be very passionate about teaching other people. But I feel like the way you speak is very important, and your soul is almost, I feel like your soul could be very passionate about language or learning to understand the meaning behind words, because I feel like people could maybe come to you for advice and guidance. Your soul is giving this very like oracle, prophetic type energy where I feel like people could maybe come to you and you could give very good advice, is something that's also coming through. I feel like your soul is very passionate about transformation as well, is something that's coming through, because we have the number 9 here with the 7, so that's 9, that's like a completion number, and then with the Piscean energy, that's 12th house, which is also about completion. And so I feel like it's interesting because I feel like this could maybe be one of your last human incarnations, is something that's coming through. Because you've kind of already learned everything that you need to learn. Or I feel like you guys could really learn things very quickly and very catch on to things very quickly. And with that observant energy coming through, I feel like it's really easy for you guys to put yourself in other people's shoes and see how other people are seeing things, and almost like put yourself into their perspective. It's that empathic energy that I feel like your soul has, that you guys carry with you. And so I feel like you could maybe learn things, your soul learns things through other people's experiences as well. And that's why I feel like the 8 also came out, because communication, connecting, networking with people is very important for your soul, because it learns through other people's experiences as well. Really interesting. And your soul is also giving me like king, queen, very regal energy. And I just saw 21:22 on the clock timer. And I feel like you maybe in your younger years really had to kind of go through it. But it's interesting because I feel like it's something that your soul wanted you to go through. Like, for example, if you experienced any kind of abuse or bullying or anything traumatic, I feel like your soul almost put you through those things to know and understand your worth and to learn how to empower yourself. Because once you learned how to empower yourself, once your soul knows how to empower itself in an incarnation, it's almost unstoppable. And it's very helpful to other people in helping those people reclaim their power. And with the vampire card here, I feel like it's interesting. I feel like you're very aware of when you're around somebody who's draining your energy. Very tapped into your feelings is something that's coming through. I feel that's almost like how your soul sends you messages and information is through your feelings, the way you feel about things. And I feel like your soul is almost urging you to follow your heart. And that was something that was coming through in the beginning, is like defining what success means to you, defining what is valuable in your life. I feel like maybe making a list and writing down your core values would be very like insightful for this group as well. writing down what you find valuable, because it's different for everybody. But a lot of times we can kind of tend to get swept up in how other people are viewing us, or how we think we should be, or what we think we should be doing. But I feel like your feelings is something that's very important. And whenever you get in touch with your core values, I feel like it's almost like you create your compass, is something that your spirit guides are saying. It's like when you know which way is your true north, you're almost like unstoppable. I feel like you guys are very powerful. Your soul is very powerful. And I also am getting this message. I feel like you're meant to do big things in life. Whether that is just connecting with your community, like in your area, or creating an online community or something like this. I feel like the things you say are very healing and helpful, and it's almost like your soul is passionate about uplifting humanity. And I also feel like connecting with the phases of the moon would be very helpful for you as well. So using the new moon to set intentions when it comes to manifestation, using the full moon to release and let go of certain things that are holding you back when it comes to manifestation or being successful or living the life that you desire. But I feel like that's all I have for you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow, and we would love to have you be a part of the Sailor family as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye! Hello! If you chose pile number 2 with this piece of glass, this is your reading. So we're going to look at your tarot cards and your oracle cards, and we're also going to draw a number for you. So I have numbers 0 through 9 in this bowl over here, and it's just going to kind of give me a feeling of your soul's passion. This could resonate with being your life path number. It doesn't have to, though. I also want to mention, when I was connecting with your group's energy, I was feeling very strongly pulled toward the ocean. So I feel like it's interesting. I'm getting specifically careers that involve the ocean. So you may, like, maybe when you were a child, or maybe now you are like a marine biologist, or like an ocean animalologist. I don't think that's actually a word, but maybe you study like the ocean, the animals of the ocean. Or I also feel like you guys, your soul's very passionate about environmentalism when it comes to the ocean, making sure that our oceans are safe. Really interesting that that's coming through. I also feel like your soul is very passionate about technology. And I feel like your soul could be very connected to the city of Atlantis. And it's interesting because your spirit guides are saying specifically the lost city of Atlantis, which I think is a Disney movie. Interesting. Let's go ahead and see what number you guys get. This pile number 2, Soul's Passion. Okay. So, you guys have number 4. Number 4. So this is Emperor energy. It's also about building a strong foundation. 4 is also the divine masculine energy. So your soul may be have a very go-getter energy, very ambitious. Very strong-willed is something that's also coming through. And I feel like it's interesting because I feel like your soul has a very strong willpower. And I feel like you guys could maybe be pulled towards certain directions and maybe not know why. But I feel like it's your soul that's like, no, we're going this way and this is the way we're going. Really interesting. I also feel kind of a stubborn energy with this pile. You may resonate with being a Taurus or Virgo, Capricorn, strong earth energy here. Let's go ahead and look at your cards. Your oracle cards. So we have the second house owning with the number 8 here, and this is Taurus energy. Owning. I feel this very strong, like you may resonate with having a very strong mission or goal or purpose on Earth. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I feel like your soul will know, and I feel like it will be different for everybody, but I feel like this group has a very strong ambition to achieve. And I'm seeing the World card. I'm seeing Capricorn in the 10th house. And this is all about your worldview, I'm hearing philanthropy, how you help the world. Really interesting. And with the 4 here, that's all about emperor energy. It's about being a leader, being like the king of a kingdom, having a lot of people under your wing. And I'm also seeing the lion. I feel like you guys could resonate with being a Leo. You have very strong leadership energy. And I feel like your soul may really be connected to ancient Egypt. Is something that's coming through. Really interesting. I feel, we're going to flip over these cards, but I just feel like I need to say this. Your soul is passionate about creating a legacy or creating something that will last a lifetime. And I'm seeing specifically the pyramids of Giza, or the pyramids that were created in Egypt, and all of the statues and everything that they created. Those, and your spirit guides are urging me to say that those things, those big like monoliths were created so long ago, and they are still here today. And that's the type of legacy that your soul is passionate about creating. Really interesting. You guys are very powerful, and I feel like you are master manifestors, and I feel like you can have and achieve and be anything that you want in this life. Let's go ahead and see what else we have. So we have the Virgin. Light attribute, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Shadow attribute, fear of intimate union. Okay. We have the Lamb. I feel like you guys may have felt drawn to another pile as well. I encourage you to watch that pile. We have Inspiration. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the Fairy of Inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. I'm also feeling like Aquarius energy with this pile as well. I feel like your soul is passionate about creating something for communities, making the world a better place. And I feel like this pile also has a really good balance between masculine and feminine energy. We do have the 4 here, which I was mentioning is masculine energy, but with the Virgin and the Lamb, this is very feminine energy. And I'm also thinking about the religion of Christianity with the Virgin and the Lamb. This is reminding me of like Jesus and Mother Mary. So you may resonate as those being like your spirit guides, or maybe these are people you look up to. I feel with the number 4 coming through, and that really strong balance and connection between your masculine and feminine energy, it's almost like I'm seeing your masculine protect your feminine energy. And so I feel like your soul is very passionate about bringing balance to Earth, bringing a sense of balance, of peace, and not trying to fight for power is something that's coming through, but almost like protecting the peace. which is interesting because it's like two very different things. You know, sometimes we have to protect our peace. We have to fight for what we love. And that's what the energy that your soul is giving, is not like this conqueror type energy, but wanting to create balance, wanting to create harmony within and with others around you as well. Let's go ahead and see your tarot. So we have the Four of Cups. And we have this energy of this like gypsy person. Actually, I think I have to cover that up right there. So I feel like I've had this energy before in a pick a card reading, and I'll try to describe it the best I can, but it's like, I feel like you guys have this very soft energy, but you know when to stand up for yourself. You know when to stand in your power. And it's giving this energy of wanting to protect the world and wanting to fight to make the world a better place so that you can relax and enjoy life and feel freedom. It's almost like, I feel like your soul is here to do the dirty work so that we can all be happy and we can all live in peace and harmony. And if you've ever seen My Hero Academia, this is giving like Hawks from My Hero Academia. And he actually is a character who is very strong, very powerful. He's like the number 2 superhero. Out of all of the superheroes in the movie, he's number 2. And he had a really hard upbringing. He had a really hard life. His parents, I believe, were like drug addicts or something. And they were very cold, very abusive, very neglectful, and yet he still had this like idealization about being a superhero and wanting to protect people and wanting to bring harmony and peace to the world. I feel like your soul has a very like ideal quality about it, is something that's coming through. Where I feel like you may see things and people could be like dismissive, like, no, that can't be better. And your soul just has this energy of like, I can make the world a better place. I can bring peace. I can bring harmony. And I feel like you have this very feisty energy about you that comes from your soul, where it's like, you're almost like constantly proving people wrong. Like, oh, you say that I can't do this, watch me. Really interesting. I love this energy. And it has this softness to it as well, where it's not coming from a place of ego. It's not coming from a place of trying to conquer to prove a point, but it's like, I want to do these things and people are telling me I can't, but I can. You have this very like perseverant type energy about you, that your soul is really like, I'm going to push through even when challenges come. I'm going to push through even when I feel like I can't, even when I feel like I'm going to give up. And it's in those times, it's interesting because when you do push through, when your soul pushes through and perseveres, it's almost like I feel like you could receive some sort of blessing or gift or sign like, I'm on the right path. Spirit, I feel like, is very protective over you as well. Interesting. I feel like you guys may have gone through certain things or experienced certain things that your soul was like, we need to experience these things to grow, but very protective over you, where it's like, I'm not going to completely throw you into the fire. It's interesting because they're showing me somebody who's gotten burned a little bit, but it's like once they've gotten burned once, they learn the lesson and they know, okay, this is how people act. This is how things are. And it's like you keep going, you keep pushing through. And I feel very called to tell you, there was something that I learned, and it was how trauma directly corresponds to being high achieving, being very ambitious. And as human beings, the way our mind works, we have to experience some sort of trauma in order to want to achieve and be better and bring peace, harmony, be a better person for the world. And if we are maybe coddled or not, experiencing any sort of trauma in life, we won't be very high achieving, and we almost kind of turn into kind of like spoiled, or like we can have our way, and it's not, I hate to say this, but it's like, you know, people like this who were very spoiled in childhood, and now they kind of expect everything to go their way. They expect the world to be handed to them on a silver spoon. And so I feel it's interesting that your soul is bringing me to this, because I feel like you may have gone through some sort of trauma, but it's like your soul wanted you to go through those things because it made you into this really inspirational leader, is something that's coming through. Let's go ahead and see what else we have. So we have the Seven of Wands. I'm getting that message of like fighting for what you love, protecting the peace. And I just keep seeing the infinity symbol, which you could have been drawn to another pile because the infinity symbol was coming up, but it's like protection is very like emperor, yang energy, and peace is very soft, feminine, yin energy. And I feel like your soul has a very good balance between these things. And I feel like your soul is almost here to experience some sort of financial, money type wealth as well. And I feel like your soul is very passionate about helping uplift humanity, helping make the world a better place. And because of this, it's like the universe wants to reward you. Let's see what, you guys got 3 of these cards. So we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. We have the Two of Cups. And we have the Princess of Swords. Again, it's that like fighter type energy. The Princess is the Page. With these coming next to each other, it's like fighting for what you love. I feel like you could be a very loyal person. I feel like your soul really values connections with people, and I feel like once your soul connects with somebody, it's like they will be very loyal to them, and they'll almost want to protect them. And this is also, it's really giving like older sibling energy as well, where they're very like protective of their younger siblings. They're very protective of people who are weak. Really interesting. The Lamb. I feel like your soul is also very patient as well. And that's why I feel like you have the potential to achieve really big things in life, because when it comes to achieving goals, when it comes to being high achieving, a lot of times we can tend to give up and not continue pushing because we're not patient enough, because we become impatient. Like, I want this now. And when it doesn't happen, we think, oh, the universe is saying that I'm not supposed to have this. When actually the universe is saying this is a test of faith. Can you keep going? Can you keep moving forward? And when you say, yes, I can, it's at that instant that the universe then rewards you. They're showing me somebody digging for treasure. And they're digging, and they're digging, and they're digging. And they get to a point where they think, oh, I'm never going to find this treasure. And they give up. But your soul is the type of soul to be like, maybe you think those things, we're human. We all have negative thoughts. And it's like, as soon as that thought comes up and you think, maybe I'm never going to find this treasure, maybe I should give up. It's like your soul is coming through and saying, no. We will find this treasure. We are not giving up. Such strong, like, I love this energy. It's giving very, like, Aries energy as well, where it's like, I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep moving forward. And when your soul does that, it's like the next 2 digs, you find this bountiful treasure. And it's like the universe was saying, it was a test of faith. I wasn't telling you to give up. I was telling you to keep moving forward. And it's very inspiring to other people as well. This is also giving, like, people who give TED Talks, people who, like, publicly speak about motivation and empowering yourself and stepping out of your comfort zone. I feel like you're very inspiring to people as well. And I was feeling that Leo energy very strong, where it's like you are the leader in your life. And I feel like maybe in childhood or past, you didn't have anybody who was there to protect you, so you had to be the protector in your life. But it's very empowering, and your soul wanted you to experience that, because now, not only are you the protector in your own life, but you're also the protector in other people's lives as well. And you stand up for the underdog. And you really, when you connect with somebody on a soul level, it's like your soul will fight to keep those people safe. Really interesting. I love this energy. It's also giving like superhero, Avenger type energy as well. Iron Man is something that's coming through. Iron Man really strongly, because I feel like you guys are very smart as well. And I feel like your soul is not only street smart and knows like common sense and how to understand situations, but is also very book smart. I feel like you guys could really, when you learn about something, you really learn about it in a deep way. It's also, I feel like your soul is almost like, has like a warrior's heart, is something that's coming through, because with this Virgin here, it says symbolic purity of heart and spirit. It's like your spirit and your heart is very pure in itself. And so it's almost like your human self is very protective over your heart and spirit. I'm getting like it may be hard for you to open up to people and connect with people, but when you do, when you build that connection and you feel like you're really, sharing and connecting with somebody on a soul level, it's like your soul really like puts those people like equivalent to you and saying, this is my soul family, this is my soul's tribe. Interesting. I feel like your spirit guides are saying you have fighters out there. So I feel like I feel like people talk really highly of you, is something that's coming through. But if there is somebody who may be more negative toward you, I feel like you have people out there who would really be like, no, that's not true. Pile number 2 is an amazing person. And it's giving like hero energy. I feel like people see you as almost like a hero. And I'm hearing that song, I can't remember the word, I think it might be called Hero, but it's like, I need a hero, I'm holding out for a hero till the morning light. He's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be fast, and he's gotta be fresh from the fight. I feel like that could be your soul's theme song. Very powerful energy. Very inspiring to those around you. It's like, I also feel like you guys, your soul is almost a symbol for hope. Because I'm seeing the Superman symbol, and I think, like in the movies, they say, they ask him, why the S, like what's that symbol? And he tells them, like from my planet, this is a symbol of hope. And it's like you wear that symbol of hope on your chest. Like, I know things can be challenging, but we can make them better. We can make the world a better place. Really interesting. It's also giving, like, in the movie The Avatar with the blue people, the main character, Jake Sully, I think is his name. He was a veteran, I think, and he was a warrior, he knew how to fight. But also, like, the people, the Avatar people, they, he connected to their tree. Like, he was one of the outsiders who was welcomed in because he had such this strong heart. I feel like your soul has a very strong heart. Oh, sorry about that. And it's very balanced in its energy as well. With the Temperance card being here. And I mentioned this earlier, but it's like your soul is very passionate about bringing balance to the situations around you. Not only to your inner world, but to the outer world and the outer experiences. I'm going to have to listen to that song Hero now. If you know the name of it, please comment down below. That way we can all kind of listen to it and look it up, because I love that song so much. It reminds me of Shrek for some reason. Oh, I think they play it in Shrek. Shrek 2, maybe? The Fairy Godmother. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to listen to that song after this, because this is your guys' energy, and I love it. I'm living for this. And I feel like other people are too. It's like when you're in their energy, it's like I feel people almost feel unstoppable. Like I can do anything. I can achieve anything. If pile number 2 can do it, I can do it too. And it's very uplifting, and it's very like inspiring to people. And it's almost like people then want to become a hero as well. Really interesting. I feel like that's all I have for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow, and we would love to have you be a part of the Sailor family as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye. Hello. If you chose pile number 3, with the necklace, the lady on the necklace, this is your reading. We're going to look at your tarot cards and your oracle cards. We're also going to draw a number for you. So there's numbers 0 through 9 in this bowl. And we're going to pick a number, and it's going to kind of help me see what your soul is passionate about in this life. This could resonate with being your life path number. It doesn't have to, though. I do also want to say the first thing that I was picking up was I feel like your soul is very passionate about beauty and seeing the beauty in people and things. I feel like you have a very magnetic quality about you, and your spirit guides were also saying the Midas touch. So it's like anything that you touch turns to gold. And with that, I feel like it's anything you are around or experience has this like beautiful quality about it. Let's go ahead and get your number. Let's see. Okay. So we have the number 7. Okay. So 7 is a very spiritual number. It's also a very psychic number. I feel like your soul is very connected to spirit, and they're just drawing me. I feel like you could receive a lot of number synchronicity, signs from the universe, guidance from the universe, messages through numbers, through animals. I feel like you guys also have a very strong connection to divination. And I feel like your soul is very passionate about divination, passionate about connecting with spirit. And I feel like your soul is very passionate almost about showing people that we are connected to everything. We could not be separate. We are the universe experiencing the universe. And they're showing me, 7 days of the week, 7 chakras, 777. You could resonate with being a life path 7, but I feel like this pile is very psychic on a soul level. And this could have maybe been a talent or an ability that you've cultivated over several lives, is something that's also coming through. And I'm also getting this like shapeshifter type energy with this pile. I feel like you guys are almost like a chameleon, or your soul is like a chameleon, able to blend in to certain surroundings, able to observe and understand things. Really interesting. It's like I'm seeing somebody changing into like a rock, which is funny, but it's like they're changing into what is around them and almost like learning through experiencing it themselves. Let's go ahead and look at your oracle cards. So we have the water element sensing with the number 4 here. So I feel you could have maybe been drawn to another pile. All of the piles feel very connected today. So maybe you've watched all of the other piles as well. That's something that I'm feeling. But it's like I feel like they're the same, but they're also different in a way. But with the water element coming out, you guys are definitely very psychic on a soul level. And I feel like this pile could have also maybe resonate with being a medium, a tarot reader, a channeler, and specifically I feel like you've had these gifts almost turned on from childhood is something that's coming through. So I feel like you guys could have had spirit guides, or you could have maybe been by yourself, like receiving downloads and messages from the universe as a small child and knowing things that maybe the adults in your life didn't know, or when you said them, the adults in your life were like, how do you know that? You're only 4 years old. And I just saw 4:24 on the clock timer, so that could be significant. So we have gossip. Awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. Shadow attribute. Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Very interesting. So with the blue here, I feel like you guys are very connected to your throat chakra. And I also feel like your soul has this very like calming, almost like watery, flowy type energy about it. And it's that message of like the chameleon again. I feel like you guys are able to really blend into surroundings. And I feel like your soul is I feel like your soul could be very compassionate about people, but it's like this group is giving that energy of like people could maybe come up to you and tell you things about their life and it's like you didn't even ask, but you have such this open energy that your soul is like, you know, so open. It's like people know that they can trust you. You have this very trustworthy energy about you. Let's see what else we have. We have the starfish, so we have more water energy here. Let's go ahead and lay your cards out. We have wisdom. Have you ever been told that you're wise beyond your years? Now is the time to call upon your inner fairy wisdom to help you with a challenge. And with the owl here, I feel like the owl could be one of your spirit guides. The starfish. I feel like your soul is very passionate about love, which is interesting because I don't know why I'm feeling that, but I feel like your soul has this very almost like Aphrodite type energy about you. Maybe you resonate with Aphrodite or Freya being one of your spirit guides. I'm also seeing a strawberry, so you may have a strawberry tattoo, or you may really enjoy strawberries. That's something that's coming through. You have a very sensual quality about you. It's really interesting. I feel like you guys could be very beautiful, and it could be in a conventional way, but it could also be in a very unconventional way where it's like your soul is what's beautiful, your energy is what's beautiful, and if maybe you don't think that you're attractive, you could have a lot of secret admirers or a lot of people who think you're very attractive and think you're very pretty. It's interesting because I feel like it's like your energy, your soul, it could also be your physical features, attract people in. And this is what almost kind of gives you this like trustworthy, open energy. But you have the number 7 here, so you have wisdom. You have this spiritual knowledge, this psychic wisdom, this psychic knowledge. So it's like people may come to you or like be attracted to you because of the way your energy feels or the way you look. But it's like then when they speak to you and they hear your voice, it's like you can give them wisdom, you can give them insight, you can give them advice and guidance. And so that's what I feel like makes you very, it's like I'm seeing a hook and then like a reel. So it's like the physical beauty, the soul beauty is what attracts people in. It's like what hooks people in. But your wisdom, the advice, the guidance that you can give people is what really reels them in. Really interesting. I feel like your soul is very passionate about beauty. And I feel like your soul sees beauty and wisdom as well, with the number 7 and the wisdom card coming here. And I I also feel this very strong yin energy, and that came through in another pile as well, the divine feminine energy. I feel like your soul could be very passionate about expressing this energy through connecting with people, through sharing your beauty with the world is something that's coming through. Let's go ahead and flip over your other cards. So we have the King of Cups with the fish here. Your soul is saying, emotions are not weak. They're actually very strong. This group is also giving me like empowered empath energy as well, where I feel like you've maybe had people in your life who triggered your emotions or knew how to pull certain emotions out of you. And I feel like those experiences allowed you to almost like shape and understand your own emotions. And that's, I feel like, something that makes you very powerful, is like, because you know your triggers and you know what it is that will upset you, it's like nobody can get under your skin. Nobody can say anything that's going to, throw you off the rails or derail you from your center, is something that's coming through. Very centered in your own energy. I feel like a very strong connection to my solar plexus, but also to my throat chakra. So I feel like you're very empowered in the way you speak. And you're not afraid to, really tell people how it is. And it's interesting because it's like, I'm being drawn. There was a video that I saw, and she mentioned the law of relationship. And I looked into it and I couldn't find anything on it, but she had said, what is good for you is good for the collective. What is good for one person is good for the all. And so it's like, when you do feel triggered and when you're open and honest and communicative about it, it helps other people heal in their own way, which is interesting. I feel like your soul is very passionate about helping people heal. And I'm just seeing like the waterbenders from the Avatar, The Last Airbender, and how they have this very like healing quality, soothing quality about them. And blue is very significant here. Let's see what else we have. We have the Queen of Wands, which I'm not surprised. The Queen of Wands, to me, gives off the empowered empath. She has the black cat on her shoulder, so it's like, she knows her triggers, she knows her shadow self, so it's like nobody can trigger or pull that out of her because she has such strong power and control over her shadow. And she understands that her shadow is not something to be pushed away, but very integrated. And I feel like that's something that your soul is passionate about, is integrating your shadow. Let's see what else we have. We have the Sun. I love this card. And we have the Seven of Cups. So we have another 7 here. And it's of cups, so it's of emotion. Pile number 3, soul. Give me one moment. Pile number 3, soul. Passionate about. I feel like you guys are almost some sort of messenger for the divine. I feel like you guys, your soul, puts you in situations or puts you around people, and you then become like those people, that chameleon energy, and you can then understand what those people are going through, how those people are feeling, and it's like you relay that message to the divine, to the universe. Okay, this is what the collective human consciousness is like right now. This is where we are as a collective. Very interesting. With this person, it's like whispering in their ear. It's like, I feel like this is you in spirit. You and the universe, you and God, you and the divine, saying, hey, this is how people are. This is what we are like at the moment. And it comes from a place of love. I don't feel like this is egotistical at all. I feel like it comes from a place of wanting to help and heal those around you. I also feel like this group could maybe trigger people as well, because you are so connected to your throat chakra, you're not afraid to call it like it is or say things how you see them. But it's interesting, it's like, I feel like you do, it comes from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of trying to wound people or hurt people's egos, but it's coming from a place of like needing to like purge so that you can then live in joy and light and love. And this group is also giving me very fairy energy as well. But it's like a fairy witch almost is something that's coming through. I feel like you're meant to be in the spotlight. I feel like this is something that your soul... It's interesting, your spirit guides are saying your soul has planned for you to shine, to be in the spotlight, to be seen. Because you're so connected to your throat chakra, you're so connected to your voice. You would be the person who would be able to help heal people because you're not afraid of triggering them. And it comes from a place of love because I feel like this is something that you do to yourself as well. It's like you may put yourself in situations where you're triggered or where people trigger you so that you can learn about your own triggers and you can understand why I act this way, why I feel this way. And like, for example, your spirit guides are drawing me to this to tell you, there was a story that I was listening to, and they were talking about, you know, emotional triggers and being triggered by people. It's like you hold the gun. You know, you hold the trigger, and when somebody, you know, says something or does something and it inflicts this emotion in you, it's not them that's causing you to feel this emotion. It's something within you that's causing you to feel this emotion. And they were talking about this man, he had asked him, you know, when was the last time you were triggered? And he was saying, well, I had hired this man to come and remodel my house, to come and fix something and do some work in my house. And I paid him all this money and I left for the weekend, and when I came back, nothing was done. And I was mad. I was infuriated. You know, why would they do this? Why would they do this to me? And that was the key, is like he at that point was saying, you know, how could somebody else treat me like this? Because in his life, he didn't have the self-worth to view himself, you know, I'm a good person. It's not, maybe it had nothing to do with me. Maybe the guy didn't finish the work because something came up, you know, but because he didn't have enough self-worth, enough self-esteem, he viewed the situation as like, this guy who didn't fix my house the right way was doing it because I'm not good enough. And that's the thing, is like, once you understand that and once you know that it has nothing to do with me. Maybe the guy was going through things. Maybe he had some home issues. Maybe he, you know, never developed a good work ethic. You know, it had nothing to do with me. But yet, you know, in the situation like that, he allowed himself to get frustrated. He wasn't triggered. He wasn't getting frustrated because the guy didn't fix things. It was internally, it was because he saw himself as less than. He was seeing himself as not having enough self-worth or self-value to deserve a fixed house. Which is interesting. Like, I feel like you guys are very enlightened, very high-level souls. I feel like you're very quick at learning things as well. And I feel like you learn through emotion, not necessarily, I feel like you do learn through your own emotion, but you also learn through other people's emotions as well. And it almost like is uplifting humanity in this way. I feel like that was a theme for all three of these piles, is like, your soul's purpose is to uplift humanity in its own unique way. And every pile, you know, had its own unique way. And this pile's way it uplifts humanity is through understanding people's emotional triggers and empowering yourself. And that was a theme as well, is like self-empowerment. Empowering yourself to be the authentic version of you and live in your joy and live in your bliss. I feel like you guys have the potential to have a very fun, happy, exciting life. And I feel also your soul is very passionate about facing its fears. Because when it goes through its fear and it understands, it's like it understands that the only thing that exists is love. And I feel like this group could also, you know, we have 7 here, but I also feel like 5 energy as well. I feel like your soul is very passionate about experiencing things. understanding things. And once it learns something, it's like, okay, I learned this, now what? What else can I learn? What else can I heal? And I feel like your soul is almost of service in this way of helping people heal and purge their shadow so that they can be in this lighthearted, joyful energy and really experiencing their bliss. And I also feel it's like your soul is passionate about, helping people heal their wounds on their own. Because that's the thing, is like, we can help guide people, but if the people don't want to be healed, it's ultimately up to them. But because you have such this lighthearted energy, and you're able to see the beauty in other people, it's like people naturally want to heal, they want to uplift, they want to be on this level that you're in, that your soul is in, that your soul is at. Really interesting. And with this person here, like, it's funny because we have so many signs, so many synchronicities in this pile. As I was mentioning the chameleon, we have this person like blending into the water. But it's also, to me, this card is about, going into the depth, going into the dark emotions. And not a lot of people want to do that, Your spirit guides are urging me, they're telling me people will fight to stay the victim. People will fight to stay in unhappy situations because it's in their comfort zone. And I feel like your soul is passionate about stepping out of its comfort zone because your soul knows that the only thing that there is love. And the only thing that you can experience is love and joy. And when you find something that feels like fear, your soul almost pulls you in that direction to say, is this fear? What are you afraid of? And it almost like it's like a light shining in a dark room. Like there's nothing to be afraid of. The only thing that exists is love. And I feel like you're constantly shifting your perspective and you're constantly changing and evolving. I feel like this pile evolves at a very rapid rate because your soul isn't afraid to go into the depths, to experience the fear, to look the fear in the face and say, okay, this is more love. And then I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep experiencing joy and bliss and happiness and fulfillment. I love this. I love this energy. Very beautiful energy. And I feel like if you maybe don't think that you have beautiful characteristics, you have a very beautiful soul. And I feel like it shines onto your outer appearance. You could be very unconventionally beautiful is something that's coming through, and it comes from your soul. And it's interesting because with the message of the shapeshifter, it's like your soul, you're very beautiful to a lot of people. Even if people have, this is my type, this is what I like, this is what I don't, it's like you are the person that's like, pile number 3 really isn't my type. I don't know, I'm not really attracted to this type of person, but they are attracted to you. Because it's coming from a soul level. It's coming from, your soul, your spirit. Very magnetizing energy. Able to heal. You guys are, I feel like your soul is passionate about healing other people, uplifting people. And I also feel like your soul may come from a place that was very highly evolved or in a higher dimension, where it's like, I feel like your soul comes from a place where there wasn't fear at all. There wasn't hate or, this black and white thinking. But because that's the, how the collective consciousness is on Earth right now, your soul is very curious about it. Like, why? Why are we afraid of these things? Why are we afraid of being triggered? Why are we afraid of transcending our fear? Because the only thing that's on the other side of that fear is love. And I feel like you're very good at showing people this, and your soul is very good at shifting people's perspective when it comes to this. And I feel like you're also, with the Queen of Wands here, you're giving the fun friend as well, where it's like people may want to go out with you because they know that they're going to have a good time. People want to be around you because they know that you're going to have a good time. I feel like if you're around people who complain a lot, I feel like you'd be very quick to call them out. Like, why are you complaining? We're having fun. Why aren't you having fun right now? I also feel this strong sense of freedom with this pile as well, that maybe one of your values, something that you value, not being like tied down or entrapped in an identity, is something that's coming through. I feel like your soul is very quick to transcend and evolve and change and become what it needs to become to be happy and be joyful. See if there's anything else I'm seeing. You're giving like this sun child energy, this sunflower child energy, which is interesting because you have such this depth, this, emotional depth, able to understand your emotions at such a deep level, but you have such this lightness, this joy, this playful energy about you. Very connected to your inner child as well. And I'm also feeling called to tell you there's, I think it's like, there's like a book, The Art of Seduction. I feel like you guys are very seductive, but I feel like you guys could resonate with being the star, or the natural is something that I'm also picking up, where it's like, the natural is so connected to their inner child. They're very seductive in this way because they can be so fun and lighthearted and playful and not take things so seriously. And they come off as being very natural in their essence, very authentic. But the star energy in The Art of Seduction is the energy of almost people putting you on a pedestal or people seeing you as really beautiful, almost like this Hollywood type energy. And I feel like you guys are I feel like your soul really likes to learn things and understand things because then it can share it with other people. This is what I learned. This is what I know. And I feel like it can be very helpful to those people whether you realize it or not. And this is something I feel like your soul pulls you to communicate. This is why your soul pulls you to tell people about the things you learn, because it's almost like maybe in your younger years, your ego may have gotten in the way. Like maybe you had people tell you, that you were a know-it-all, or that you don't know what you're talking about, or things like this. I feel like your soul really wants you to share and communicate because it's like you may not know what other people are going through. You may not know what other people are thinking or experiencing. And when you share part of your life story, when you're vulnerable in this way, it's like it can really help other people and heal other people. And your ego, your person, may not know exactly why you feel called to share these things, but your soul does. And your soul is very passionate about helping heal other people. But I feel like that's all I have for you, pile number 3. If you enjoyed this reading, please give me a like, comment, subscribe. We would love to have you be a part of the Sailor family as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye.